How's it? I'm Krista, and welcome to Diamond Cornerstone. Okay, yeah, we've listened to a lot of reflection and the state of the country and the state of the world, and it's all a little bit hectic according to me. I'm the guy who still says we have to go back to basics, and that would be what Madiba said, which is greatest weapon for transformation is education. Education has no color, has no religion, has no uh, sexuality. It's basically just about getting the job done. And with this said, you've got to think in process. Now, process thinking is the diamond. The diamond is a codification of how to get stuff done. So you guys basically we start with a task definition. So we'll define the task, what has to be done. That could be anything from making a cup of coffee, starting a business, running a business, and everything. And then you get a plan. What do you need? Who do you need? A blueprint, a model, a picture, and then you develop it. You get the right people, you get the right resources, and then you just do it. Plain and simple. Assessment is how does it taste? How does it feel? Uh, how does what are your benchmarks? Your task definition actually gives you your assessment criteria. So if it's a cup of coffee, or do you have a cup of coffee? And then you can reflect, is it hot? Is it cold? Is it sweet enough? Does it have milk? And then you learn lessons. Okay, next time buy some milk. Add to your resources the sugar. And this cuts character ethic, which is discipline, loyalty, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, all the noble, admirable things. And this is a process cycle. And running a business, you'll actually have a process cycle for the finances. You'll have a process cycle for product development, a process cycle for how to work with your people. You'll have a process cycle, and that's the interlock. And with seeing the forest for the trees and the interlocks, you'll actually see that the diamond is what we call fractal. And in nature, patterns repeat. Likewise, in the diamond, the pattern repeats itself. So you'll actually have a small diamond for something like a cup of coffee, but then a larger diamond for, let's say, your morning activities. And from the larger diamond, you'll actually get really big diamonds. And so it's actually a fractal model that diamonds fit into diamonds. And if we actually just stick to the basic process model for small things, it usually takes about 7 seconds to get shit done. Literally, 7 seconds. That's the average length of a play in American football, rugby, soccer, hockey, between breaks. Ball going out, knock on, handling error, a shove or a push, and then you'll stop the game, and then there'll be a line out or a throw in or a scrum or a free kick or a penalty or whatever. But it's actually only 7 seconds of play. In rugby, we have breakdown to breakdown to breakdown to breakdown, which is also 7 seconds, 7 seconds, 7 seconds. And it's basically from a breakdown, you get a reset. It's crazy, actually. And likewise, that you see in life as well. It takes 7 seconds to make a cup of coffee if you've got all your resources there. So the implementation is only ever 7 seconds. My frustration with working on a car is it takes 7 seconds to do the job. But there's a lot of 7 seconds before I get to doing the job. Like replacing a bearing. You've got to dismantle a lot of stuff to get to where the bearing is. And then you've got to put the stuff all back together again. But it only takes 7 seconds. And sometimes the 7 seconds can be 5 minutes, but it's always a short little job. It just takes long to get there. So if we can break our lives down to 7 seconds to 7 seconds, it gives us moments of breath between and appreciation and meditation and thinking. And you'll actually see planning is a whole lot longer than the actual implementation. So stop the talk shop. Talking is reflecting and lessons learned, and that's where we can add the quality aspect and how we're going to do it better next time. Now, in a country with over 4,000 previously disadvantaged communities, aka townships, we've got a lot of 7 seconds that we've wasted over 31 years for infrastructure development and education. And I'll always say that all we need is a vision of build state, and then every community, every family, every person, family, community builds their community, builds their businesses, builds their hospitals slash clinics slash healthcare system, builds their... We don't have to wait for state. State's not going to come and save us. State cannot save you. State has the money to invest, but they'll only invest in you if you are educated. But they'll also only invest... they'll only invest if you're educated, but you can only invest in education if there's workplace. So it's actually a catch-22 situation. So we as the people need to get our education, our skills, our knowledge up. The fact that state hasn't invested in infrastructure shows they haven't faith in us. Or the state just government just doesn't give a shit, to put it politely. They don't have faith in you. And the only way they're going to get faith in you is if you earn the credibility, get the paperwork, get the training. No, but government must pay for my training. Well, if government doesn't have a vision, why would they build the infrastructure? Who's going to work it? We've got over 6,000 abandoned mines. That means there's just not people to work it. Because if the people were there to work it, government would keep those mines open. With training systems and all the systems, the paperwork's perfect. Our systems are in place. We can roll out tomorrow. So this is the first of a bunch of stuff. But the bottom line is we've got to get our process thinking in place to get to the 7 seconds, 7 seconds, 7 seconds. And 7 processes is 49 seconds. It's just a lot of stuff to go through the process of adding quality and then doing it again better, doing it again better. And in this, we actually get cooperation and mutual service between the diamonds. So I'm going to see how consistent I can be. But the bottom line is, if we want transformation, we better get educated. We better get knowledge, we better get skills, we better get the right attitude. Because no one's coming to save us anymore. We've driven away our biggest trading partner on manufactured goods and raw materials. You can sell them, but the world doesn't want raw materials because that's still cheap, and then we're buying back manufactured goods. Doesn't work. We've got to sell manufactured goods. And we've just destroyed our relationship with our biggest trading partner for manufactured goods. With that, they've repealed or stopped all the funding and donations because they're also in debt. So we've got a problem. We better start figuring out how to do it ourselves, because there's no cans of US aid coming. There's no US aid peaches and US aid jam and US aid bags of grain coming. So 66 million people, we can do it. We can build state. And that's the mission. That's the vision. And the mission would be education, health, infrastructure, safety, security. We know what has to be done. So let's just get there and follow a process and get everyone on the same page. And so we can build our households, our communities, our municipalities, and state at large. Yeah, quick and easy. A lot of hard work's going to have to go into this. And blessings for the day. Oh, the stone that was rejected by the builders will become the chief cornerstone. And I recommend we make it a diamond. Blessings for the day.